Mob trial and judgment are thought to be features of some remote villages in North India, where Khap Panchayats sit in judgment and hand over punishments to people. It was thought that such kangaroo courts don't exist in a state like Kerala, which is proud of its so called 100% literacy. But recently, an incident of a mob trial at Kannur and the subsequent suicide of the victim who was subjected to trial were reported. This is not my blinkered vision or my prejudiced opinion. This is what police said about the suicide of a lady named Razina, who was a resident of Kayalod in Pinarayi in Kannur district. You need to remember that Pinarayi is a place or native place of present Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, who also holds the home portfolio. So this happened a few days ago. The police said Rosina committed suicide under the pressure of mob trial. Later, CPIM Central Committee member P.K. Srimati, who was a former MP, she said the suicide was a result of the pressure exerted on the victim by extremist groups, and she called it the result of a mob trial. So now it's very clear kangaroo courts do exist in Kerala. Why do kangaroo courts come up in Kerala? There is a criminal aspect as well as a social aspect in kangaroo courts. Criminal aspect is they are not empowered by law. So they actually challenge the existing legal and political system. This is a criminal act. This is something which can be termed as sedition. Then there is a social aspect because they raise certain allegations against the victim. Here also that is there. So let's go into the details of the whole issue and try to find answers. Welcome to Insights. I am Hari Kumar. So let me start with the suicide of Razina. Razina was, surrounded or taken into custody by a few people a few days ago while she was talking to her friend named Rahis. Razina had differences of opinion with her husband, and I think they were separated. It's not very clear from newspaper reports. So a crowd of people, youths, they forcefully took these two people. Some newspaper reports say they were taken to the office of Social Democratic Party of India, which is the political wing of banned terror group Popular Front of India. Then the lady and her friend were questioned. The phone and tab of friend Mr. Rahis were snatched by the group. The lady was let go home, or she was dropped at her home by this group of people. Those who abducted her included her relatives, and those who are now under police arrest actually are very close relatives, are cousins of the victim. Afterwards, the victim felt insulted, and under pressure, she committed suicide. There was a suicide note on her body, and police has it at present. The police say the suicide note very clearly, blames the vigilante group, which included her relatives, and the suicide note never blamed her friend. But afterwards, mother of the victim came out with a statement, blaming friend for exploiting her daughter. You need to remember that according to the version of family, the friend had exploited her financially and other ways, perhaps even sexually. So that was the reason, according to them, which resulted in the suicide. And they want the police to release those arrested who held the kangaroo court, and instead of that, they want the police to register a case against the friend. But prima facie, as per the suicide note, there is no evidence against the friend. A suicide note, is enough evidence to arrest a person. The police can take suo moto action based on suicide note, though it is not enough to, give punishment that the court will do later. But this is the background of the story or the incident. Now, there are several serious questions against this backdrop of the, suicide. The first question is, were the crowd empowered to conduct a kangaroo court or sit in judgment? Absolutely not. But the family members who now try to defend assailants, they think that the assailants did the right thing. They deny that the assailants held a trial, but at the same time, unwittingly they have said that the assailants or the arrested people have snatched away the mobile phone and tapped off the friend of the victim. So, who gave them power to snatch mobile phones? Just because a lady was talking to her friend, just because she was married, how could someone, abduct them? How could somebody forcefully prevent that lady from, speaking to her friend? And they were actually speaking at a public place. So we are sure that no other, thing happened in between them. And even if that is the case, even then, nobody has the power to abduct or take into custody any person for just for speaking to her friend. So that means it was clearly a case of vigilante. The CPIM leader P.K. Srimati very clearly said that it was, a perfect example of the atrocities committed by extremist groups. Then, uh, she wants all the assailants and those who were involved in the incident to be punished and to be arrested, to be given due punishments. That is right, absolutely, because nobody has the power to take law into their hands. But why did that happen, and that too in a place like Kannur? CPIM, which now has realized the reality or the dangers of extremism, didn't do anything in the past when many such incidents happened in Kannur. I will cite one example. In 2012, a Dalit youth named Vinish was brutally murdered by a group of allegedly Popular Front activists. Even then, that Popular Front, at that time itself, Popular Front agreed that there was some fisticuffs between the deceased Vinish and their workers. They said it was because the killed or the dead Vinish actually peeped into a place where Muslim women were taking a bath. So somebody questioned that, and afterwards, the youth committed suicide. That was the justification of the Popular Front. She was killed in a Taliban model. He was killed. He was subjected to inhuman torture. A group of Adivasi Gotra Mahasabha, and its leader, a former Naxal leader Geetanandan, said that to the or made such a conclusion to the media. He said the deceased Vinish was subjected to severe torture. His veins were cut off and blood was allowed to flow. He was hung from an electric post upside down. And even then, that was treated as a suicide. I think the assailants got support from political parties and nobody pursued the, you know, the horrific incident later. And I don't know exactly what happened to the assailants, but from the newspaper reports, it is clear that they were not charged under, or they were not handed over any severe punishment. And somehow or other they escaped. Kannur is a district, where terrorist camps were held in the past. It was in this place that in 1998 there was a conspiracy to murder the then Kerala Chief Minister E.K. Nayanar happened. But at that time, even though a sub-inspector of Kannur town police station charged a case against one person named Thadiyandavada Nasir, even the then Chief Minister E.K. Nayanar dismissed that case as a conspiracy theory. And because of the attitude of CPIM, the guy got bail easily. And he was absconding till around 2010 or 12. And later, the National Investigation Agency arrested him from India-Bangladesh border. So I think maybe because of the of political reasons, maybe because of real politics of CPIM which wanted, votes of Muslim groups, maybe because of their ignorance, they let the man go. And this man is accused in several terror cases at present. He is said to be the commander of Lashkar-e-Taiba in South India. And this is the situation. At least now CPIM leader, Comrade P.K. Srimati, has shown the courage to, call spade a spade. She said, she termed the incident, the horrific suicide, as a result of Taliban model mob trial. So at least now the CPIM has realized the gravity of the situation. But at the same time, it's too late because terror groups have, dug their feet in the district. If you look at the number of, arrests or terror incidents in state, Kannur has registered far more than even Malappuram. So this is the situation. I think they have also succeeded in penetrating into political parties. Recently, the parents of the victim who now came out in Kannur, victim Razina, who supported her assailants, are members of CPIM. This is the irony. So even they support the parents. On the one hand, they are members of the CPIM. On the other hand, they are not showing a progressive attitude, or they are even refuting a statement of the police and one of their leaders. So this is the situation. There is total confusion. Extremists have clearly infiltrated political parties, including CPIM. And the CPIM is primarily responsible for, treating those grave crimes as simple misdemeanor. So this is what emboldens terror groups. And that is why they commit such atrocities with impunity. This cannot be accepted. Kangroo courts should not be allowed to function. Most probably they are run according to the rules of Sharia. In a country like India, that cannot be accepted. This is a democratic country. We have got a constitution. We have got independent police and judiciary. Now we cannot accept this. Hope the police will take action. But there is every chance that the state government will, work out a compromise with certain groups, fundamentalist groups. If that happens, such kangaroo courts will continue to function in Kerala. Let's see how things develop. Meet you with updates. Till then, goodbye.